Welcome to I Don't Know What to Name This Show. I am your host, Sean Arguello. What can I say about Roman Reigns that hasn't already been said already? Starting off in the Shield to finally making his way as the face of the company, someone who's going to be the face of the company for years and years. Boy, did it not start that way. You see, I think the main people's problems with Roman Reigns starts way back in his early days of the Shield. They kind of know exactly what to expect from this guy. I mean, of course, he's part of a legendary Anoa'i wrestling family, one of the most historic families in the history of professional wrestling. But let's take a look at 2015, the Royal Rumble. Everyone knew that Roman Reigns was going to win that match before it even happened. And boy, did the Philadelphia crowd let them know that. Because Roman Reigns was already starting to be groomed as the next big guy in the WWE. He was supposed to be the face of the company. He's going to lead WWE into the future for years to come. But the problem is, no one wanted to see that. Now, back in 2014, we're going to rewind time a little bit. Back at the 2014 Royal Rumble, a similar thing happened, except when Batista returned, he ended up winning the Royal Rumble. And if you pay attention to that match, Roman Reigns actually set records in that match. 12 eliminations, which at the time was the most in a Royal Rumble, in a single Royal Rumble. But the problem was, everyone knew that Batista was probably going to win the match, but us as wrestling fans, we like to be surprised. We want to see stuff that's different. And seeing Roman Reigns and how well he was performing in that match, everyone was thinking, oh my god, if Roman Reigns wins this match, this would be so unexpected. He's already put together arguably the greatest performance in the history of the Royal Rumble. We might actually see WWE pull the trigger and pull off a surprise. This is perfect. This is exactly how you create a new star in the process. But we didn't get that. We instead got Batista eliminating Roman Reigns. And at the time, Roman Reigns was so over with the fans because this was the days when he was still with the Shield. Everyone was loving the Shield. So anyway, the months go by, the Shield breaks up in one of the most heartbreaking moments in WWE history. And then you start to see Roman Reigns start to climb up the mountaintop. But then there was a problem. The crowd almost immediately turned on Roman Reigns. Now, I'm still trying to remember exactly why this happened. I mean, yet again, this was back in 2015. This was at the 2015 Royal Rumble. So that was a long time ago, so please excuse me for not remembering something that happened 8 years ago. So when this happened, when Roman Reigns' music hit, the crowd booed the hell out of him. This was insane. Especially considering this is a man who WWE fans were so excited to see in the main event picture. They wanted to see a new star, but the problem was, I think everyone predicted that it was going to be him versus Brock Lesnar, who at the time was the WWE champion. And no one wanted to see this match. They were sick of Brock Lesnar because, one, he was a part-timer and he was a champion. And that never works out. If you're a part-timer and a champion, what's the point? He's never going to defend the title, and at the same time, you're not going to get any big matches for the title at every pay-per-view. This is a major problem, and it still rings true to this day, but more on this a little bit later. So, Roman Reigns, air quote, defies all odds and wins the Royal Rumble. Not even The Rock, who is also universally loved, could stop the Philadelphia crowd from booing the hell out of Roman Reigns. This is a major problem, especially considering that this is the guy who's supposed to be the face of the company, who's supposed to lead WWE and be the top guy. And if you're getting this kind of reaction from the crowd, you know there's something wrong. So anyway, long story short, by the time WrestleMania finally comes around, no one wants to see Brock Lesnar as the WWE champion, and no one wants to see Roman Reigns as the WWE champion. So, what do? They pull off one of the greatest endings to a WrestleMania you will ever see. Seth Rollins, who was the Money in the Bank holder at the time, and also a former member of The Shield with Roman Reigns, his music hits, the crowd goes insane. Seth Rollins goes in there, cashes in the Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania 31, makes it a triple threat match. Seth Rollins pins Roman Reigns, and boom, just like that, Seth Rollins is the brand new WWE champion. This is fantastic. Exactly what the crowd wants. No one wants to see Brock Lesnar as the champion. No one wants Roman Reigns as the champion. So they pulled off the ultimate gutsy move. It's been dubbed as the heist of the century and is still the greatest Money in the Bank cash-in of all time. Seth Rollins in the main event of WrestleMania. It's been dubbed as the heist of the century. This is fantastic. Exactly what everyone wants. They make a new star in the process. No one wants to see Roman Reigns. No one wants to see Brock Lesnar. And it is one of those very few occasions where WWE actually listened to the crowds. And it was fantastic. But unfortunately, Seth Rollins gets injured. He ends up tearing his ACL, and it was a terrible injury. It happened at a live event. So Rollins was no longer the WWE champion. So what WWE decides to do is host a tournament, and then the winners of those matches will face each other in a one-on-one match at the main event of Survivor Series 2015. And this is exactly what happened. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. And at this time, the crowd still hated Roman Reigns. They were booing him day in and day out, and everyone was hating it. Everyone was for Dean Ambrose. So what does WWE do? They do exactly what they said they were going to do. They give Roman Reigns the title. So now Roman Reigns is the champion. It was a pretty great moment. But then Roman Reigns immediately loses the title because Sheamus, who won the Money in the Bank contract earlier in 2015, cashes in and ends Roman Reigns' reign as the WWE champion. So at the end of 2015, he faces Sheamus for the WWE title on an episode of Raw. Now, Roman Reigns wins this match, and for some reason, the crowd decides to cheer for him now? What? So you're telling me that this guy who people have been booing for the better part of a year start to love him when he wins the WWE title? Something else kind of interesting. When Roman Reigns won the WWE title, that was in the same arena that the Royal Rumble was, where they were booing him out of the building 11 months before, because this happened in December. This is fantastic. Now you're starting to see Roman Reigns. Maybe he's starting to become that guy. But then that's when the problems start to rise. Everyone's getting sick of Roman Reigns. They're starting to get sick of him because they're trying to keep him as a face, which is a good guy, when everyone is wanting him to turn heel, which is a bad guy. And the problem is, WWE's not pulling the trigger on that. They're trying to force him as the babyface, and no one wants to see this. This ultimately led to a Royal Rumble match where Roman Reigns had to defend the WWE title. It was literally one versus all. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier, but one versus all, Roman Reigns was saying that he wanted to overcome the odds. It was everyone against him. He would take on everyone, and he would still come out on top. So it was great. We start to see the Royal Rumble match is for the WWE Championship. This is great. We get to see Roman Reigns see if he can back up the talk that he's been saying for all this time and see if he's actually going to head into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. So by the time Royal Rumble 2016 comes by, we get exactly what he promised. He's going through a lot of people. He's starting to warm up to the crowd. The crowd's starting to understand, okay, maybe Roman Reigns can actually do this. Triple H comes out at number 30. Everyone freaks out. Holy crap, Triple H is in the Royal Rumble. He then eliminates Roman Reigns, which guarantees a brand new WWE champion. This is fantastic. We're getting to see Roman Reigns. He's no longer the WWE champion. He's not going to head into WrestleMania as that guy. We have the finals of The final two are Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. Oh, what a moment this would be to see Dean Ambrose win the WWE Championship, and then we'll have all the members of the Shield hold the WWE title, and Triple H wins the Royal Rumble and earns his 14th WWE title. Okay, well, that was very anticlimactic. And right from that moment, we already know what's going to happen at WrestleMania 32. Oh boy. So, heading into WrestleMania 32, we're going to see Triple H versus Roman Reigns, and it's so predictable what's going to happen. And because of that, the crowd did not give a bleep. Because, oh my God, I have never heard a crowd turn on a main event of WrestleMania ever before in my entire life. This is the main event of the biggest show of the year, and no one cares. This is a major problem because this was the most predictable outcome in the history of WrestleMania up to this point. But yet again, we'll get to this in a little bit. So Roman Reigns beats Triple H, and he's now the WWE Champion. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Exactly what we wanted. We get to see Roman Reigns back on top. Yay. So, how does this title run go? Actually, pretty well. He has some really good matches against AJ Styles, and Seth Rollins returns from his knee injury at Extreme Rules. He comes back, challenges Roman Reigns, and then Money in the Bank 2016, we get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. This is fantastic because Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, it's two former members of the Shield colliding head-to-head for WWE's top prize. So, how do they do it? Exactly how everyone thought. Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns, and oh my God, everyone loves it. And how do they even top that? Dean Ambrose won the Money in the Bank contract earlier that night. His music plays, he knocks out Seth Rollins, pins him, wins the WWE Championship. Holy bleep, where the hell did this come from? We just had all three members of the Shield hold the WWE title within a span of 3 minutes. This is great. We get to see Roman Reigns lose to Seth Rollins. Everyone gets a great reaction. Then we get to see Dean Ambrose as the face of the company as he wins the WWE title from Seth Rollins. Where the hell has this story been the entire time? This is great. But right about this time, this is when the brand split comes back. Heading into the last pay-per-view before the brand split takes place the very next night on the quote-unquote season premieres of Raw and SmackDown Live at the time. Heading into that, we have a triple threat match. Dean Ambrose defends the WWE title against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in the main event at Battleground 2016. This will basically decide who gets the WWE champion. Raw or SmackDown will get a WWE champion and leave the other brand with no world champion. Dean Ambrose was already drafted to SmackDown, whereas Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they're going to be on Raw. Okay, so what happens? Exactly what everyone saw coming. Dean Ambrose wins the match, and so the WWE title goes to SmackDown. Oh, this is fantastic. So neither of Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns are the champion, and now Dean Ambrose is going to hold WWE's top prize on SmackDown. Let's fast forward to the night after Battleground, the start of the new era. So, Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley were in charge of Raw. That's how the storyline was. Shane McMahon came back before WrestleMania 32, and him and Daniel Bryan were in charge of SmackDown. Now that Dean Ambrose was on SmackDown, Raw was left without a world title. Raw decided to create the Universal Championship. We got a couple of fatal four-way matches that night, and ultimately in the end, Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor was the finals. And the winner of that match would go on to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the Universal title. Why Seth Rollins? Because he was the first draft pick of the 2016 WWE Draft. Okay, this makes sense. Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor was just called up from NXT. No one wants to see Roman Reigns, and holy crap, Finn Balor wins this match, and he's heading him to SummerSlam against Seth Rollins. This is great! But then the problems start. Finn Balor got injured in that match, but he still won the Universal title, so he was the first ever Universal Champion. But the very next night on Raw, he had to vacate it. Okay, so now we're going to have a fatal 4-way elimination match for the Universal title. Okay, well, let's see. We've got Seth Rollins in here, we got Kevin Owens, and we've got Roman Reigns in this match. Okay, so this is probably going to be very predictable. It's either going to be Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. No, Roman Reigns doesn't win the title, nor does Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens actually wins the WWE Universal Championship. Holy crap, where did this come from? This is great. You create a new star in the process, and you get neither Roman Reigns nor Seth Rollins as the top guy. Roman Reigns ultimately wins the United States title. So he holds on to the title, and no one likes him. No one likes seeing him as the champion. So now we're going to have Roman Reigns lose the United States title, and now he's going to go head into WrestleMania 33 in 2017 against The Undertaker. Holy crap, what a main event this is going to be. Then the match happened. Wow. This was the second time that The Undertaker lost at WrestleMania. Okay. Let me keep this in mind. Roman Reigns is still a babyface at this time. He's still a good guy. The night after WrestleMania 33, the Raw after Mania, one of the most fun shows of the year, Roman Reigns' music hits. Words cannot describe how epic of a moment this was. The boos were historically loud. They were chanting things that I'm not going to repeat here. A-hole, F you, Roman, shut the F up, go away, Roman sucks. If you ever search for this video, look up Roman Reigns Raw after Mania 33. They booed him for 8 minutes. This was to start the show. 8 consecutive minutes, non-stop. People just chanting, Roman sucks, go away. Holy crap. Words cannot describe how beautiful this was. Because Roman Reigns just beat The Undertaker, who is probably the most universally loved wrestler in the history of the industry. You have Roman Reigns. This is supposed to be the top guy. Remember this. Roman Reigns is getting booed out of the building. 8 minutes. He lifts up the microphone to try to talk. The boos get even louder. But Roman Reigns walks away with the last laugh. He says, "This is my yard now." And the boos continue to grow. Those 5 words, and everyone was seeing... Oh my god, I'm sorry, but if you ever find this clip on YouTube, I highly recommend you watch it because it is hilarious. Something else I completely forgot to mention. I can't believe I didn't think of this until now. Another reason why people didn't like Roman Reigns were because of his promos. So when you talk in the middle of the ring, for those who are unfamiliar, when you're talking in the middle of the ring, that's called a promo. You're supposed to talk to the crowd. You're supposed to interact, and you're supposed to see how good you are when you have a microphone in your hand. And because Raw and SmackDown are now live shows, you can't really mess up. They're going to see exactly how you are. You're doing this live. Can you sound like the tough guy, and can you sound convincing? Something that Roman Reigns was criticized for were his microphone skills, and oh my god is all I can say. Roman Reigns at the time when he was a babyface, probably some of the worst microphone skills you will ever hear. I am not going to repeat them right here because you'll have to look these up on your own time. But wow, it was bad. So the reason why I have to mention this, heading into a match against John Cena at No Mercy in 2017, we had this uncut war of words, basically. It was John Cena, who was one of the greatest talkers in the history of the industry, against Roman Reigns, a guy who, quite honestly, at this point, sucks on the microphone. And it's basically the former face of the company versus the future of the company. This is a match worthy of WrestleMania, but they put it on a C-level pay-per-view. Hell, even a D-level pay-per-view of No Mercy. This is the last time we saw a No Mercy pay-per-view, back in 2017. So John Cena actually calls out Roman Reigns because Reigns actually forgets his lines, and John Cena says, "It's called a promo, kid. If you want to be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead." Holy crap. John Cena just called out Roman Reigns on live TV for forgetting his lines, and he's supposed to be the guy who's supposed to lead the WWE in the future? What the hell? And from that moment, Roman Reigns, I think he might have gone off script because he started calling John Cena a part-timing, I'm not going to say the actual word, but he accuses him of being a part-timer who takes opportunities from other guys who have been there the entire time, who are full-timers. And then seeing John Cena, he's starting to say that John Cena, he's a part-timer, and Roman Reigns would be damned if he's going to see John Cena come in to a WWE event if they pay him enough and say, maybe I'll wrestle. Holy crap, this is insane. Where has this Roman Reigns been for the last 5 years, pretty much? Or maybe it was 3 years, I don't know. So anyway, long story short, Roman Reigns finally cuts a promo that actually sounds like it's decent. Because Roman Reigns, like I said, his microphone skills were criticized for years because they didn't seem natural. They sounded so forced and it was awful. But then, Roman Reigns beats John Cena at No Mercy. Then, fast forwarding a little bit, Roman Reigns heads into WrestleMania 34 in 2018 against Brock Lesnar. Oh boy, we're going to see this match again. We already saw this at WrestleMania 31, but this time it's just these two. It's the main event, and my God, did the match suck. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, main event of WrestleMania. Holy crap, this match is awful. This is foreshadowing, by the way. Brock Lesnar retains the title. So, everyone's getting sick of seeing this match. Let me preface this. This is only the second time we've seen this match. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. And it's not working out. So by the time SummerSlam comes, okay, we're going to be disappointed. Holy shiznit, what the hell? Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, Roman Reigns finally wins the Universal Championship. And guess what? People are starting to like it. They're cheering Roman Reigns. This is fantastic. And then Roman Reigns' leukemia came back. Oh my God, this is terrible. No one wants to see Roman Reigns like this. So Roman Reigns has to relinquish the Universal title. Oh my God, this is terrible. I know everyone's saying that no one wants to see Roman Reigns as the top guy and they're booing him. But this was really the first time I saw the WWE Universe come together for Roman Reigns and wish him a quick and speedy recovery. And then, in February of 2019, leading up to WrestleMania 35, Roman Reigns comes back and we get some of the best news you will ever hear. Roman Reigns says that he's in remission. Everyone loves this. And from this moment, finally, the crowd is starting to cheer Roman Reigns. Because no one wanted to see Roman Reigns like that. Cancer sucks. And now we're going to see Roman Reigns. The crowd loves him. Okay, so this is great. Then by the time the WWE, well, at the time it's called the Superstar Shakeup, but it's the WWE draft, unofficial draft. Roman Reigns goes to SmackDown. Oh my God, this is amazing. Roman Reigns is now on SmackDown. So, fast forwarding a little bit later, in 2020, so Roman Reigns calls out Goldberg, says that he's next. Okay, there's your Universal Championship match at WrestleMania 36. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. It's spear versus spear. Who's gonna come out on top? Oh boy. Then, like I said, this was in 2020. Then a certain event happened. Take your time. You'll probably figure it out. So, Roman Reigns actually has to take time off. So, because of his leukemia, he's at a higher risk. Yes, even though he was in remission, he was still at a higher risk than most other people. So, he takes time off from WWE. But I will say, Roman Reigns came back at the end of SummerSlam 2020. Roman Reigns is coming back for the Universal Championship, aka the title that he never lost. And he successfully does. And at the end of Payback 2020, Roman Reigns wins the Universal Championship. But something happened in between right there. Roman Reigns is talking about how he's going to win the Universal Championship. He says that's not just a prediction. That is a spoiler. The camera turns, and who is sitting right there next to Roman Reigns? Paul Heyman. He says, believe that. What the hell? WWE just pulled the trigger and turned Roman Reigns heel. This is one of the greatest heel turns in the history of the business. Everyone has been wanting Roman Reigns to turn heel for years. They didn't do it after WrestleMania 33 when he had nuclear heat after beating The Undertaker. He didn't do it after WrestleMania 31 because the crowd was booing him and they didn't want to see him as the face. They didn't turn him heel after No Mercy 2017 after he beat John Cena and was starting to become that guy. Oh my God, I want to say the word, but I'm not going to say it. I'll just say holy shish. This is going to be the most controversial part of the video. Roman Reigns has not been a good Universal Champion. But before I get to that, surprise, this is going to be a two-parter video. I want to thank everyone for tuning into this episode. So, the next time I release I Don't Know What to Name This Show, I'm going to be getting into the Roman Reigns experiment starting in 2020 when he wins the Universal Championship. So, I hope you guys are prepared for when that episode comes out. But, as of right now, my name is Sean Arguello saying goodbye for now, but not forever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.